Texas Prison Story Family Salute, y'all. It's your boy Tim Snow back here with another one. I know this one's just kind of random, man, but shout out to the MVP, my daughter's aunt. She came and picked her up and took her to get her nails done and everything else. So daddy got a little bit of time today, and I just felt like I wanted to tap in. I got a friend of mine here, and I don't really say that word too lightly, right? I met him through YouTube, which I met a lot of people, but he was one of the first ones I ever met, and dude has just stayed solid since day one. He'll tell you himself he's never been to prison, not a convict, nothing like that. Just a cool ass dude. All right, that happens to know a lot of people. So we're gonna chop it up and just do a little YouTube talk, I guess. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people watch this genre. A lot of people aspire to be YouTubers, stuff like that. And he actually just started a new channel, which I've been telling him to do for years. So I'm glad to see it. So I'm gonna bring him in right now, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself. So, Sandman, tell him who you are, how you came about, and how we even know each other.
Man, yeah. First and foremost, thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate you. We've known each other about what 5 years now, going on something like that. And I got into YouTube just being a man who knows a little bit about technology. I was helping out Dirty Weather, and I moved on to Nadog, and then Badger, which I still work with to this day. And then I worked with for about 4 years, 8 months with Boxer for Paradigm Media News. And then I started my own thing because I'm going back to college, and I couldn't commit, full time to Boxer anymore. So, and we're still cool and all that. And now I got my own channel now. And John Greshner and I do it. It's called Growing Revelations. If you don't know who John is, he's a ex brand member, Aryan Brotherhood commissioner for the federal faction with Barry Mills and TD Bingham. And so I'm just kind of running that right now. So that's what I'm doing.
So good stuff, good stuff. Uh People that you just named right there, right? Since I started YouTube, and they seen me do a video with Nate Dogg, they seen me start my channel, but I had already had a couple thousand, but going on Badger's channel, many with Dirty Weather 916 and all that, and you are the reason I actually know them guys. You know what I'm saying? So that was cool, and I appreciated all them stand up dudes. So it's been a nice little journey here, right? You watch me kind of grow. I watch you do your thing, and man, I tell you what, I've been wanting to ask you, and so I'm gonna ask you on camera right now. How does it feel now, though, to finally just be in the driver's seat, like 100% creative control? You got your star guests, like you have a possibility to go super major with this channel here. How does it feel? Do you realize what you got on your hands?
So, well, honestly, you opened my eyes to what I got, right? So you and I talked behind the scenes, and you know, I want to do more than just what I got, but at the end of the day, not everybody has a ex brand commissioner, you know, talking to them, talking about history, talking about the feds of state, and so yeah, it's kind of it's nice to be able to call your own shots, so to speak, right? It's nice to be able to make your own decisions, and at the end of the day, yeah, because I wouldn't be doing this live with you here if I was still working with other people, and you know
Right.
that.
Right. So yeah, that's why I said it probably just feels like you got a little weight up off of you. You know what I mean? And the channel's doing good. It's called Growing Revelations, y'all. And since it's kind of new on YouTube, if you want to type it in a search, type in Growing Revelations Sandman, and Sandman is one word. It'll pop right up. So that's
Yeah.
something crazy, right? When I heard that you were working with Greshner, I know he's done some documentaries, some movies, and stuff like that. So here's something I wanted to ask you, right? And I seen you getting a little bit of flack from it. I know the guys on YouTube get a ton of flack about it, about the dropout situation, right? About being ex-members
Hmm.
and all that type of shit.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Like, I know, so it shouldn't affect you, right? Because you're more like a journalist. You're an editor, more like a journalist, a reporter. But this prison genre and the people that watch it are so vicious, they keep reflecting that back on you. Is that something that kind of bothers you? You cool with that, or what's going on with that?
In the beginning, when I first started working B, it did, but I learned to just deflect stuff because me myself, I'm a square. I've never been a part of a gang. I've never been to prison, any of that. So I realized it doesn't. It's not about me. So when I'm doing this stuff with people, I'm not doing it for recognition or anything like that. But I don't know when they say that stuff, I just brush it off, man. And I've been doing this so long, I've grown thick skin. So I recently I just dropped a video about uh, a certain YouTuber, and a lot of people are like, "Who are you to speak on this and that?" Right? I'm like, well, it's a public platform. Mostly squares are watching your videos. They're paying your bills. So who am I not to speak on this, right? Especially if you're portraying to be something you're not. And this is a something you spoke to me about before we started, and I just figured we get it out the way. And when they tell me all that stuff, like you're not supposed to speak on this and that, it's like, okay, well, do you guys really know who I'm tapped into? Do you guys really know who I know? There's a lot of shit people really, can I cuss?
Yeah, I don't care.
My bad, man. So there's a lot of things people just don't know. And I guess you can be whatever you want to be on YouTube, right? So many people have been exposed, so to speak, and but at the end of the day, man, it's I got thick skin now, and I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for getting involved in this too because it's given me a skill. It's given me a skill not only with public relations but also editing. Not only editing, but how to network with people. You know what I mean? Because not everyone gets along, as you know. So I've kind of been the guy that, like you said, you and Badger, um, you and Nate, and so on and so forth. But like my thing is bringing people together. So I hope that answers your question, man.
No, it does. And you know what? You told me that since day one. And what have I always told you? I've always said, don't bring nobody together my way, dog. I'm straight. You know what I mean? I'm
Hmm.
anti-social. And that's not just for YouTube only, right? Like I'm really like that in real life. Like I'm not out just making new friends all day trying to network in the world. But when I find somebody that I think is solid, that I know I can trust, that's the one. You know what I'm saying? I lock in with them. But it's hard in life. But you've been extremely good at networking. I ain't gonna lie. Like that's an actual that's a payable skill right there if you want to know the truth. Like that's how people pop up on these giant podcasts, how people do things. And I'm always sitting back wondering, how did they do that? And it's somebody like you to network them right in there.
That's true, but also um, being antisocial, right? That's a loaded word. To me, it's a loaded word, right? It's just you got to have the right personality to bring the two together, right? So, like Texas, California, they've always had a rivalry, correct?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
they have they go at each other, and it's just like, okay, so why can't you two come together and speak on it? So I'll try and relate to you two, right? Something you have in common,
All right.
and then it grows from there. And
Well,
and I,
well,
I
hold on a second. So, tell them where you're from. You're from San Jose, right? Northern Cal.
yeah, yeah, I'm from San Jose, California. Yeah.
So let's talk about a little bit about that rivalry though from Texas and California, because I made a million little comments, jabs, and jokes, but I always said never being mean, right? Just kind of fucking
Hmm.
with you. But it is, and it has always been a rivalry from the whites, the blacks, and Hispanics. But you know what? It's just because we've both grown to know each other and realize how different of a world that is, dog. Like California and Texas, and when I'm not talking about prison, but culturally, from the music, like man, we don't know who none of those rap stars are that they keep talking about on social media. They don't know who none of ours are. Car styles different, clothes style different, hairstyle different. You know what I mean? It's totally so different. And whatever happens in life when two things are totally different, they usually, or just alike, they usually clash. They usually hate each other. Like whites and blacks say they're so different, they don't understand each other. So here comes that problem in life, and it it shouldn't be that way. And I fall victim into this, right? That my channel is called Texas Prison Stories, so I'm always gonna stand up and rep for Texas. I don't give a damn if somebody's dogging out TS, Mexican Mafia, and I was a Crip. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm still just
Mhm.
holding it down for Texas, and people gotta understand I'm gonna do that, right? And somebody has to do that. You can't just clearly, freely just say crazy ass shit and nobody ever respond. But at the same time, since I've known you, what do I always say? That beefing ain't worth it. I don't like doing it. It makes you look bad in the long run. You know what I mean? And I still
Mhm.
stand by that, right? Like, I feel like if you can't reply back to an argument intelligently, calmly, without the emotion, then you probably shouldn't do it. Maybe wait till tomorrow before you do the video or something. But I was just really wondering about that because I know you're from Cali, and the guys that have the so not talking about dropouts, right? That's something that's been played out, talked about too much. Just the guys that we've watched on YouTube, Sandman, come up and die. Man, we watched Savage die, S Bone die. There's been a few other ones. Ryan Leone died. Rest in peace to him. Like, we've literally watched
Mhm.
guys that we knew. You know what I'm saying? That we do know through this. We have talked to before. Watched them have giant chances of coming up. They passed away. We've watched other guys, bro. We've watched trolls and weirdos be exposed as sex offenders. They've come out as informants, rats. Like, answer this question. This is something, and y'all answer me this in the comments. If a person has something like that on their jacket, right? Like, if somewhere out here there's an interrogation video where you told on somebody, or you once molested some kids and got arrested or something, you know what I mean? Like, what in the fucking world would possess you to come on YouTube and start a channel?
Especially that last one. I don't know. I don't know about with the kids, but there are people who have tried to hide things on YouTube. They got exposed, and like they're still active, correct? So I just I I don't know what goes through their head. I just when you have something to hide, don't come into the public eye. It's a simple rhyme, right? It's something I've kind of told myself, but like SPM, right? He's got tons of followers who just don't want to believe it. It's kind of the same thing with certain people on YouTube. They don't want to believe the truth about their favorite YouTuber. So they go to the end of the earth to defend these people. And I I don't know, man. I don't know. I know you and I are the same. Once somebody comes out, once it's proven that they're a certain something, we gotta back up. Can't fuck with them no more.
Well, yeah, I tell you all the time too that this is YouTube. Once it becomes successful, dog, it's a business. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this, right? This is, you put out a product and you can get paid off YouTube. Now, the average channel isn't making a lot, but here's the deal: you have unlimited amounts of possibility once your channel is monetized. Creatively, it's up to you, right? And how well you do. And so you'll see some people, we talked about this the other day, right? There's people with YouTube channels that's been doing it way, way less time than I have, and they have over 1,000 videos. A real over 1,000 videos. I've been going 5 years now with about 200 videos, and that's me doing it my way, and that's them doing it their way, right? But either way can work. That's what I'm saying. There's so much YouTube potential possibility. I think they're just thinking. So basically, I think they think they're going to get away with it. They're just trying to make a couple bucks, and they don't realize that the internet is undefeated. Is that a good way to put it? Because the internet nowadays is a million and oh, it's undefeated, man. You're gonna come on here. They're gonna be looking you up. They're gonna be searching you. They're gonna do shit. They've done it to me. Or, they're gonna do it to you. They've done it to everybody. And I say it all the time, dog. I think I'm one of the only prison YouTubers that I don't give a fuck if 1090 Jake comes and looks me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't, and I wish he would. And I pay Jake to come look me up and do a video on what he finds. How about that? You know what I mean? But there's
The,
very few that can say that, and I always wonder why.
so, like Mad Max said, quality over quantity. But
Max Luke.
the the thing is, with someone like 1090 Jake, we both know there's paperwork on him about making statements, and they want to split hairs, right? Oh, he wasn't talking to cops, he was talking to COs. That's what people will do. People literally sit there, argue with you, and split hairs about no, it's black and white, it's cut and dry. Make statements to the authorities, that's that. But at the end of the day, yeah, I don't know, man.
Look
It's
what Wacc Duce said. Look at that comment I just pinned.
Hey,
Say
that's
what?
true. That's
I
true. I know
no,
people. I don't mean to cut you off, man. My bad.
hey,
But
no.
I know people who know Whack, him, Snow Rock, Goldie are all mentioned in the same sentence, and those names hold weight in the California prison system on level fours, 180s in the shoe system, and 270s, level fours and up. Right? Whack was one of the original White Crips,
Say
and he held
when
it
I
down.
talked to Rob Dog, shout out to Rob Dog from Cali. Rob Dog, hardcore, same thing, same situation, level 4 white crip. And I mentioned Whack. You know what he said? He stopped the whole conversation and said, "Oh, yeah, that's a real ass white dude right there." You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, so we already know we ain't gotta Whack. I didn't mean everybody. How about that? You know who I'm talking about? I'm talking about them real popular guys that are the ones blowing up and then they get exposed, dog. I just don't understand
Yeah.
what the hell that
Like
they.
like you said, the internet is undefeated. There's so much. This is the information age, right? So there's so much stuff that people can pull up. If they know what they're doing, they can pull up your life story on paper. Like it's actually kind of scary what they can pull up, all the way back to high school if you got arrested or whatever in your juvenile age and all that. And it's just you know you're going to come on the internet, you're going to put on a story, and then someone who actually knows you is going to see it as well, and they're going to speak on it, and then people like you or I are going to be like, wait, I saw this comment. Hold on, man, do you know this dude? Hey, man, get on me on Instagram. And then they're going to be like, okay, here's this and this, you can look it up on here. Here's an article, here's his paperwork, here's this and that. If you're lying on the internet, especially YouTube, you're not getting away with it for long. And I'm not in the business of exposing people. That's just not what I do. But there was just uh, certain things about certain things that I just couldn't be quiet about for much longer. But Whack, he's a real one. And even in my comments, man, when I posted a video about White Crips that John Gresham was speaking on, people were like, "Oh, who are you?" And I said, "Oh, no.
I
I
seen it.
spoke up for him, and I was like, "This is a real man. This is what this man has been through. This man has been there, done that, and he changed his life." And that's what we're trying to do is get people to understand that you don't have to drop out, you don't have to do any of that shit. But if you change your life for the better, no one's no one's going to hate on you for that. And if you actually look at YouTube, some of these people who are dropouts have some of the biggest followings.
So
And
let me say this while I'm thinking about it, right? So here's the deal. When I started my YouTube channel, everybody can clearly go back and see, right? And it's still the mission. That my only mission with this YouTube channel was to show people this is not the life they want. Like, it's not a fun place. Nobody wants to be there. It's hot. You'll stay hungry. It's dirty. It's old. You got to work for free. So I started all this on this mission, right? And it was right after I got out, right after my brother just died on his cell floor. I had a baby. I was going through like some old midlife crisis ass shit, maybe. I don't know. But I just knew that I felt I wanted to make a change, right? I will stick to this and stand on this, that I have not seen too many YouTubers stick by what they said when they started doing the same shit. I'm doing this for the kids. I'm trying to help people. Their shit
mm-mm,
quickly turns into a shit show. It quickly turns into beefing or yeah, or talking about a rapper, or talking about no jumper, or talking about just random ass weird shit. They never stuck to their fucking mission, right? And that's something that I've done from day one and I will continue to do. That's why I really didn't want to do that video yesterday, because that contributes nothing to my mission and my goal in life and what I'm doing right here. But every now and then I feel like I just have to reply. You know what I mean? That's all that was about.
Mm-hmm.
But what you were talking about, exposing people and shit, I believe in karma these days, bro. I really do believe you get what you put out. You get it back sooner or later. And for the people that have been on missions to expose people, whether it's 1090 Jake or other YouTubers beefing back and forth, doxing each other, hey man, you're gonna catch fucking cancer. Your kid's going to jail. Your mama's gonna get that R word. Like something, you got bad energy coming out in this world when your goal is to destroy other men, especially other men that you've never even met in person. That is not okay. You know what I mean? If when people do that, but say, let me tell you something. Right now, we just had Hurricane Beryl come through in Texas, right? Category
Mm-hmm.
one. That was it.
Let me ask you something real quick. I don't mean to cut you off, but how many people other than me checked in on you
A
from
few.
YouTube?
But it was a few. It was a few. I ain't gonna lie. It was a
Okay.
few.
All
Yeah,
right,
it
good.
was. It
I'm
was
glad to hear
cool.
that.
Everybody knows I'm down there. But here, check this out. Listen, so we had 1.3 million people lose their power in Houston, which when that happens, just like in Florida, we get these power guys that come from other states like Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama. Do you know these motherfuckers are down here right now pulling out assault rifles and shit on these linemen, telling them to hurry up? They've jumped them, they're squabbling them. Like the fucking tension and pressure is so crazy. People in this world are just fucking nuts, dog. That was my point to it, right? Like you're now trying to threaten the man that's trying to turn your electricity back on. And that's why YouTube is a dangerous place. And I've told you this, man, and listen, people watching, I've told this man this more than a few times. I'm done fucking with people because they have a YouTube channel. No more, whether it's successful, not successful. That's not a grounds for me to know you anymore in life because I've seen too much weird shit from people and only a few stay solid, right? And any person can have a goddamn YouTube channel. There's not an IQ test. There's no uh personality quiz, nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's some actual real harmful damaging fucking people that will try to do shit to your life on here. You know what I mean? For no reason other than you're successful. They don't like what you said. I seen them comments on that video. Boy did reacting to mine. I could just from the comments on my video to the comments on his, that'll tell you just the different reaction temperatures times from Texas to out there because there's a lot of comments like fuck that white crib, fuck that white boy, shit like that, right? Like these racial comments coming from the West Coast, and you never see that shit coming out of my comments in Texas. You know what I mean? But those people in them
So
comments, or hold on, listen, those people in his comments, they're dead fucking serious when they say fuck that white boy from Texas. Fuck him. I don't like him. I won't watch him. Fuck this white crib. Fuck. They're not kidding when they write this in these comments, right? So you better have a thick ass skin fucking with YouTube. And you better just keep pushing out some positive energy, dog. And I feel like we'll all win. You know what I mean?
yeah, and people don't understand. YouTube is big enough for everybody to eat, and the people who feel threatened by other channels, man, they're just like you said, they need to develop that skin. But going back to those comments, right? I honestly, they must be skinheads or something out of California, right? But the skinhead movement in California is pretty much dead. So whatever excuse they're hiding behind, or whatever triggered them, right? That word, or whatever incited them into feeling that way. I couldn't tell you because I don't feel that way.
Right.
I feel that you bring a lot of truth. Even you know what, man? I'll go on record right now. I feel the Texas prison system about throwing people out in the in the hot ass sun in the middle of Texas heat with humidity down in Houston or wherever it is, right? Wherever they got even up in Dallas where the humidity is not as bad, there's still humidity. And if you ever felt that, I'll take the desert heat burning your skin as soon as you walk out because you could take 15 showers, right? You walk out. I live in Florida. You walk out, you're immediately sweating. You're immediately like, fuck this. I want to go home. And these men are out there for 12, 14 hours a day from sundown to sun up, right? Working pickaxes, digging, planting, making rows of to plant seeds and all this stuff. And not only that, they go back home. There's no AC. No, and then to take it a step further, when they throw you in the shoe in Texas, there's no TV. There's no celly. There's nothing. That Texas, New Orleans, the southern those southern states, they got it really bad.
Hey, but
And
what I tell you all the time too, because I pay attention nationwide. What state do I always say is the number one psycho murder killing ass state though, dog? It's Georgia, right around. Don't I always
Georgia, you got Georgia and Alabama right there, but I would say more killings in Georgia.
Georgia,
And
Georgia, they have air conditioner, and the ones I know about, right? They don't even have very many guards there, and their
yeah,
prisons are almost like a free for all inside. It's literally just a free for all, dog. It's more like what you would hear on Rikers Island or something. Just the biggest man in the dorm might be the one running it. Gangs, none of that other shit
mhm,
don't matter, and it's a
yeah,
predator environment, you know.
no,
But
and,
I just,
and
no, go ahead, I'm sorry.
my bad. And I've heard of they got the ghost face killers, and I've heard they got the certain letters of the first two of the alphabet there, but there's no unity. There's no nothing. There is unity on the other side with the GDs and stuff like that. But you're right. The southern prisons, in my opinion. So and a lot of California people back in like the 80s and 70s, I've talked to said we refuse to work. Well, try that in Texas and
Oh
find
yeah,
out what's going on. They're gonna,
refusing to work also means that you don't want to eat.
yeah, you're not gonna eat. Back then you had building tenders who had not one but two clubs in each hand. You got nothing, and then in so it's a different environment, right? So okay, you can refuse to work. Okay, what are they going to do, right? What they do, send you back to your cell, or they might have beat you down. Everyone refused to work, right? Well, guess what? In the southern states, it's really messed up. it's 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 effed up that they'll send you back and they won't feed you, but then they'll come in and beat you up, and they had the building tenders on top of the guards, right? So they had all this stuff. And Georgia, I'm sure was the same, but I know about Texas. I talked to people from Texas, and the southern states, in my opinion, have it the worst.
You want to hear something crazy? I know you don't get to watch all the videos, like I don't watch all your videos. So you know what? Listen, a man can be your friend, and you know him through YouTube, and y'all do not watch each video each other drop. Let's just keep it real. Everybody has lives, you know what I'm saying? But that don't mean you don't support each other and stuff like that. So I'm gonna assume you didn't watch this one because I don't think you did. But I just did one the other day about somebody up there on All Red Unit, which is in North Texas, and that's where Saucy D is at right now. Believe it or not, he's on
Oh,
All
really?
Red. Yeah, shout out to my
Okay.
brother up there. It's
Sweet.
close, I believe, by Oklahoma. But check it out. This lady is she was dating an inmate, right? They were like having a serious relationship, pen pal, phone, visitation relationship, or whatever. And he was getting in trouble for masturbation cases. And he was telling her that he's not doing this. Like they're now, giving him masturbation cases just to mess up his custody level, just to mess up his parole, stop the visitations, and all of this. So here's where it gets extremely crazy. They had a wedding scheduled, right? When they schedule the wedding, they get married in the prison. And that very same night, he receives a masturbation case on their wedding night. Can you
Wait,
believe it?
wait, wait. The guard got married in prison.
No, 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 no. An inmate with the lady I'm telling
Oh,
you about. An inmate and this woman that made this video that I did, right? She married this inmate. Then that same night, a guard gave the newlywed husband a masturbation case. So when I first heard it, I was like, boy, that's a dog ass dude right there. He was in there jacking off on them old fat, ugly cops on his wedding night. He's got a pretty wife, and it was confusing to me. So I listened to the rest of the story. The name on some of the cases that he got in prison was a female guard that was later harassed and fired. And she denies writing those cases on that man. It says she wasn't even at work on some of the days and that the officers just used her name in it.
hmm.
So
So
let me run this down real quick one more time. It's
go
confusing,
ahead. Go ahead.
right?
My bad.
There's a long-term man in prison. He had a woman that he was dating on the outside. We say prison dating, writing letters, texting visits, right? That lady was in love with this man, and he's getting masturbation cases. When you get masturbation cases, that means she can't come visit no more. That means you can't even buy a commissary. You might have to go to the hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is getting serious with these masturbation cases. It's a very serious internal situation. So then when you get multiple, they start getting more serious, right? So he's telling his girlfriend at the time, it's not me, baby. I'm not doing it. They're retaliating on me using masturbation cases. On the day that they got married in prison, he got a masturbation case. So she posted about it though. Listen, this lady came public and started talking about it on TikTok, that he's saying he's not masturbating and they're using this to punish him, which is crazy, but it's realistic, right? It happens. That's the crazy ass part. So when she made her TikTok video, the guard whose name was on these masturbation cases contacted her and said she wasn't the one writing those and that they were forging her name. And there's not shit they can really do about it, I don't think. Like, what can they? That's the life though. When I talk about prison and shit, real life stuff, that hey, nobody's gonna tell you a story about that on their prison channel, right? They don't even want to. They want to act like masturbation ain't even a thing in a man's facility. That's something that's taboo. But when shit like this happens, you're helpless, dog. You know what I mean? That's why I do this channel. That's why I don't care what Lefty Gunplay did last week, bro. I don't give a fuck what Adam22 said on his podcast. I don't give a goddamn what the next fucking man does if he don't mention my fucking name, right? I will never go first on somebody, but when I'm here actually trying to fucking help people, dog, trying to expose this shit, I've told losing stories on purpose that other people wouldn't do. I've brought people forward that are people. I got people I've done time with, dog. You know what I'm saying? Very few people even have that on their
Yeah.
channels. So I feel like I'm just bad lucky. I don't know why my shit works, bro, but I think it's got something to do with the high power and that I try to keep it positive. I try to keep it on a level that you don't want to go. And I don't give a fuck what state it is. And you know what? So let me just ask you this, because this is for the viewers. I'm gonna interview you right here. Since you met me, tell me your real honest opinion. I know sometimes I'm a dick, sometimes I'm not. Like, what do you really think behind the scenes, not YouTube?
Behind the scenes? You know what, man? I think you're fair. I think you're a good brother. I think you're honest. I think you don't lie. I think you speak from the heart. And yeah, dude, I can't say anything bad about you, period. I've known you, what, almost 6 years now? 5.5 years, something like that. And there's been periods we don't talk, but you know what? So what? There's nothing that I've ever that's why I still fuck with you, man. There's only like 5 or 6 people from YouTube that, and I know you a lot. I've known a lot more. I've cut off. I didn't cut you off, and I didn't cut you off for a reason, because you're one of the most real, honest, and I'm proud to know you, man. I really am. You know, I'm proud to know you. So if anyone ever questions this man's integrity, they don't know. They don't know you.
So listen, we aren't even gonna say that. This is what I wanted to I really wanted you to say, right? And do I seem the same off this camera as I am on this camera?
Yeah. Doesn't matter if the camera's on or off. Man. You and I have the same conversations.
And that's why I like you too, bro. I was just gonna say that's what I like about this dude, because there's never an act. You get the actual genuine person. And so that comes back to YouTubers being exposed, shit to hide or whatever. If you come on here faking, if you come on here acting, underestimating the intelligence of the viewers, you will lose every time. Because let me tell you something. You said it earlier. A lot of times there's a lot of squares watching and stuff like that. Man, them guys and gals are the smart ones. They're the ones that never went to prison. They didn't get caught doing what they were doing. I will never downplay that, right? Like, I've seen content creators think they're gonna fool their viewers forever, and it just doesn't work, man. It's a bad technique, don't you think?
It not only is it bad, it's not, man. Not only does that not work in the long run, but at the end of the day, it shows your character, and the fact that people still fuck with you after they know you lied to them. that you extorted them in a way, not like extorted, but you took money from them. A lot of these YouTubers took money from them, and if they only knew where the money really went, which I do, like I'll say that a few people did fundraisers for certain shit and it went to their back pocket, you know. You would be pretty disgusted. But see, here's the thing. YouTube has a weird thing of having second and third chances. And I know one YouTuber is on his fourth or fifth, and he's making funny videos about, super this and super that. It's like, well, I don't think all these people were here, 3 years ago when he, you know, went through, you know,
You
what
ain't
he
gotta
went
say
through.
it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You know, we know what you're talking about. But I mean,
yeah,
so if that's happening and we have seen it happen before, guess what? We just minded our business, dog. Because as I
yep.
said before, destroying people, exposing people, and shit like that, it's
Not
sometimes
us.
it's bad needed. Like, I mean, somebody has to do it, dog, right? Like, somebody has to be the one to just put the hammer down every now and then. I just choose now at this point in my life to hopefully not have to be the one. You know what I'm saying? But every now and then, hey man, somebody will make you speak on some shit, and that's what I don't like about YouTube.
Yeah,
I've told you before that I've seen this shit change too many people's characters, dog. And I felt times in my life where I'm obsessed with this shit, something somebody said or this and that and that. And this ain't so it is a business, right? But I would recommend, and this is do as I say and not do as I do, right? If you're a content creator, you put blinders on and maybe don't even watch channels in your own genre. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That goes if I don't give a damn if you got a cooking channel. Maybe stop watching cooking channels, prison channels, stop watching prison channels because you will quickly become obsessed as you start making a few bucks with this shit on who's making more than you and how are they doing it, what's going on, you know what I mean? And it's pretty it's pretty savage. This shit has ruined people's lives, you know?
yeah. Uh, 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 Not only has it changed their character, but they sell their soul for this shit. Let me give you an example of just real world stuff, right? My mom's a medical esthetician, right? That's what she does, what she used to do. She still has some parts, but I would see her going to war, going to war with other people in her field, and they'd either steal clients or do this and do that. And so bringing it back to YouTube, people would be like, off camera, man. If you guys only knew how much shit that just went down. They went to war with each other. They did this. Oh, your subscriber count, this subscriber count, and then they would try to steal them. They would copy videos and all that stuff. People got caught doing that, and it's just really crazy the amount of. It's not even the amount. It's the length people will go to for their YouTube channel. Like I said, people sell their souls for this, and it changes people. And it's really, I mean, I'll say it's disgusting. I don't fuck with people who sell their souls. I don't mess with people who um are that easily swayed. I
So
don't.
here's my next question for you though. Are they doing it for the fame? Are they doing it for the money? Are they doing it for both?
They're doing it for themselves, and they're doing it for the money.
Right. I think so too. That's why you see channels now covering No Jumper and DJ Vlad and all this other shit that's irrelevant to them. Sandman, give me 1 second, dog. Shout yourself
Mhm.
out and carry on. Just hold it down for me. I'll be back in about 30 seconds.
All right, brother. No problem, man. So, Growing Revelations, man, John Gresham and I are covering the history of the brand, and I ask him other questions and stuff about life and what do you do? Some of the questions are, you regret the way you lived your life. He said no. It's actually a pretty interesting video if you go check it out. Russian mobsters that he, allegedly saw do a hit. I say allegedly because I don't want to get no one in trouble with what happened in that video. But at the end of the day, man, let me answer some questions, man. So let me go back to Wacc. There were some comments on my channel that I actually got involved in because they were like, "Oh, who are you? Who are you to speak on this and all that?" Well, like Tim and I were saying, that's a real man. That's a real dude. That dude has been in the trenches and all that. And that's all I really mess with are dudes who have been there and done that, right? And there's been a lot of falling out on YouTube and all that stuff, and then they make, they come back and all that, but they do it for the money, right? I don't do this for the money. I do it because I believe in the message. I believe, in people like Tim. I believe in people like Nate Badger, who are talking about changing your life. I used to sell heroin. I used to be addicted to heroin. I got 3 years clean on the 22nd of August, man. I didn't get clean till I was doing this from 2018, mid 2018 till 2021, and I went and got clean, and it's really changed my life, And people who are addicted to drugs, we help, and we try and get them into treatment centers and all that stuff, right? So there's just a lot of stuff that people don't know that go on behind the scenes, and people still think I'm using it to say and all that stuff. But long story short, it is what it is. And, you gotta have thick skin on YouTube, right?
You definitely do. So I found out now. I don't know, dog. When I first created this, right? Oh, I spoke on it. You know what the deal with that one channel I tried to go on and everything happened and all that. I felt a giant urge and a need to, what would you say, collaborate with people, right? And the people that I were
Hmm.
collaborating with was people that I would never probably hang out with in real life. And that's not to diss them at all. Not saying nothing bad about them, but I just couldn't imagine me and them going anywhere together, doing anything. We're just two different people. We grew up differently, different tastes and styles and shit. But collaborating on here was a good way to try to get ahead, right? But then I started realizing how bad people attach you to what they've done and what they do. Like you'll make a video with a man, and because he told on some kid in third grade, now they start calling you a snitch, and you didn't know shit about it. You don't know nothing about that. You know what I mean? So I've kind of realized now, man, it's almost better to just simplify this shit, right? And just the less is more with YouTube and associates and things like that. Because hey, when it comes down to it, one person got to pay taxes on the channel, right? And if you
Hmm.
happen to have one that's really successful, which I pray someday that I do, then that becomes a real issue, right? Where you'll be owing 20, 30, $40,000 type taxes if you get lucky. And one guy's just gonna want to get paid all year while the other one's stuck like that. So I mean, it's a one man show, unless you're under contract and everything. So I've kind of just cut mine back, man. I don't really, I'm not the most busy uploader or anything, dog. So here's my next question: after all these years on YouTube, do you still even like YouTube? Like, is YouTube worth it? Is it cool? Is it the benefits out the good outweigh the bad?
So I never did this for what I could get out of YouTube. I did this because I believed in the message. If I was doing this for monetary gains, recognition, and all that stuff, I I'd have quit back in 2018 when I started. A couple of months later, um, this is something that I like I said, the message to me is more important. Helping people to me is more important. And yeah, that's answer to that question, man. If it was for monetary gains, it ain't there. It
I know, I hear you.
ain't.
So I ain't even on front, right? Like people say, oh, 75,000 subscribers. Man, I don't make enough
I
videos
mean,
to really
shit.
make a lot of money. Point blank, period. If you pay attention to, I just said there's guys with channels less than mine that have way over 1,000 videos, sometimes 2,000 videos. And if I was really going to do that, yeah, I probably could make some money. I probably have a big channel, but guess what? I feel like all that energy and everything else would be taken from my daughter, from being a dad, from living my normal life. You know what I mean? I'm blessed that been a truck driver for a long time. That's an easy, low stress job. And people, I don't know if it's just me or not, but I swear to God, I feel like YouTube can be 10 to 100 times more stressful than working a real actual job. Like that's what I've said. I've seen it eat people alive mentally because they can't deal with the hateful comments. I tell you, you know me, I get bombed with them SPM creepy ass weirdo comments and all that type of shit. I mean, you literally have to be thick skinned, like you just said, or this shit can destroy you, Sandman. If you even got one physical attribute that you're sensitive about, guess what? They'll hone in on and fuck with you on every video. You know, oh, he's got
Mm-hmm.
big ears, he's got a big nose. You know what I mean? People are crucial out
Hey,
here.
what are you saying, bro? What are you saying?
Nah, look, that's the only reason he's wearing headphones, y'all, is to hold them big ass ears down. Y'all didn't know. Nah, but seriously though, so I like what you said because me too, dog. It is still worth it.
Yeah.
You know, as long as I can keep telling the truth, I can keep. So I'm not on a mission to like. I'm not a prison reformist. I've said that before. I'm a prison preventist. Like I feel like you do 10 times better keeping one person out than wasting your time trying to fucking change a system that nobody gives a shit about. You know, like one person. And I've had hundreds and hundreds. I don't know how many men have told me that I've helped them change, dog. So it is worth it, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
with with John, listen. So you've been working with the guy who is a real, what's it called? The council. What the hell is their leaders called?
Okay,
Commission.
so the commission, right? You got three at top. It was him, Barry, and TD, right? And then
So
you got
I'm sorry.
the
I
council
apologize,
below.
my brother. So listen, I'm asking y'all this because listen, my friend here started a new YouTube channel, and he is working with one of the previous commissioners of the California Aryan Brotherhood, one of the federal
Federal,
commissioners. He's one of the
federal.
he was one of the main three bosses that held life and death in his hands of many men. You know what I mean? He was all the way about that business. Then later left the gang, like many of them do, and all that. And so, can you just tell us, run down a little bit about John Greshner, who you're working with now? Because I think when they hear about it, they'll want to check the channel out.
So John Gresham, right? Like I said, he was part of the commission. You have the commission and the federal system. You know, him, Barry Mills, TD Bingham, and with the Aryan Brotherhood, you know, Barry and TD came from California, and they started it all in the feds, correct? So they brought in John from Minnesota, who was more of the cerebral type. Don't get me wrong. He pushed it on steel, pulled his own triggers. Don't tell you that. But at the end of the day, he and Barry were the two who brought in a lot of the belief systems. You know, you need you need something deeper than just your brother, right? So they brought in something called Odinism, you know, for their beliefs, right?
Yeah, I'm
They
sorry.
brought
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, whacking them in the comments. Listen, let me address this real quick. We know he's a rat. We know he dropped
yeah,
out. We know he told. That's irrelevant. We
yeah,
know. We're not we're not in questioning that. But if anybody's watching and paying attention to what I just got through saying, is that we're here on a mission, dog. Everybody ain't here to talk about no jumper, lefty, gunplay, swifty fucking blue. None of that bullshit. We don't care nothing about that in life. If we were here for that meal ticket and them dollars, we would have those type of channels, right?
yeah,
So if a man is using his fucking past experience to help educate and change people, I don't give a fuck no more what he did. Do I want to work with him and have him on my channel? No. Do I want to be attached to him? No. Do I even like what he did? No. Do I think he should have wrote it out? Probably to the grave, even if it got him killed, because that's what he signed up for. But guess what? Nobody can tell it like he can. Nobody can tell it like he can. You understand? And hey, that's why I don't go hardcore on them dropouts from California and all that, because people are so fascinated by their fucking stories and situations out there, and nobody can tell it like they can. What disappoints me bad about the fucking dropouts, the rats, the informants, is when they get on here and don't have this mission that I'm on. They do start talking about rappers and fucking hood politics and who got shanked in the joint and all this. Man, you motherfuckers ran from, y'all signed up for the life, you ran from the goddamn life, and now you're exploiting that life and trying to act cool, right? That's what I don't like. If a man dropped out, he told, he did whatever the fuck he did, and he owns up to that, he lives up to it, and uses them experiences to say, don't be like that, I'm with that, right? I'm with that. If John Gresham was still on there talking about he's in some new gang and he's the leader of some SNY dropout bullshit, I would dismiss him instantly.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Instantly. But he's got a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? He's got the story to tell. And hey, it's his story. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry. So anyway, let's get to that. Like, can you just briefly say, did he debrief?
Yeah.
Did he drop out? What happened with that? Just briefly.
And real quick, Whack wants to jump on, man. If it's cool,
It's
you
cool.
can
You
drop the
know,
link.
it's cool.
Okay.
What?
So he dropped out, man. Like a lot of these cats, they get politicked out. So getting politicked out means someone with more clout, is the new people would say. Basically, someone with more power than you pushes you out. So that's what happened. Barry and him started beefing, and John was like, you know what? I'm done. About 2003, 2004, and so but his mission is to help people. He'll even say, I'm way beyond prison gangs now. And he's not lying about, he dropped out, he did what he did and all that stuff. He didn't debrief on the Fed side, but California made him debrief. And I got a video asking him about that. So it it is what it is. People, they ain't gonna like it. Okay, well, that's not the channel for you then. And so John and I talk a lot about the history and about the treachery in these gangs that people don't tell you about.
Yeah. Wack, what's up, Wack?
What's happening?
Yeah, man.
Wack, I always say that motherfucker a rat. Man, we know he's a rat.
But I
we,
mean,
we,
hey,
we
but this is
know.
my point though. Like, it's not even about that though, bro. It's just this is the thing that we've all. I was just talking to the homie about this last night, right? And he said, "Man, he said, how come it's so acceptable to have people like that around?" And I mean, we just came to the conclusion that what I'm saying, like people just accept it, bro. Whereas 10,
Let me ask you something though, cuz I love you, man. Listen. Nobody said it's acceptable to have the man around, right? Did you hear what I said? And have you've known me 5 years right now too. You've watched what I've done. Have you seen me stay on one mission the whole entire time I've been on this YouTube shit or not, dog? Let
yeah,
me know.
Yep.
and you never veered from that, homie, and that's
So
why.
that's why I will never sit here and say any man that's on that same mission as me shouldn't be on it.
So okay, so let me ask you this: so is he on that same mission?
I think so.
Yeah.
Best as I can tell, absolutely, dog.
I don't know because I don't you know what I mean
You
like
know why? You know why? Because he ain't never told one of them stories favorably. Like he was King Kong in the bricks in the jungle and none of that shit. He ain't telling favorable Aryan Brotherhood stories, dog. He's doing like I did. He's coming out telling when shit went wrong. Like literally, look at
well
what he's saying. The Barry Mills politicking them on them finna run him out and kill him. You know what I mean? Like so, if you're on, so it goes to what I just said, right? A lot of them Cali dropout channels they don't push no fucking agenda, bro. They're not on here trying to help youngsters. They're not trying to do a goddamn thing other than make a couple bucks, right? And that when I see anybody, hey, even if I feel like it's unintentional, you're just accidentally doing a good job out here scaring kids straight, doing it right. Then I'm going. Like I said, I don't want it associated and attached with me because I know what it'll do to a motherfucker reputation, name, and all that. But I'll be first here to admit it that every time they bring a motherfucking name up, I know they're gonna throw in red. Like that's attached to you for life. You know when you debrief, that's gonna be there. That's something these men have to live with, right? And when you have something like that, your best bet is to embrace it. Like just come on, your first video ever. Hey, yeah, I once ratted on every goddamn buddy I know, and but here's my story. I hope it helps you. And then hey, good luck to you, dog. You know what I'm saying? I guess I don't know how to really express it, bro, honestly. But go ahead, Sandman.
this is the
Uh,
thing, right? Is that I don't have a horse in that race anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not in prison. I'm not going back to prison. You know what I mean? I don't run the streets no more. I'm a dad. You know what I mean? Everybody that knows me knows that I take care of my kids and that's all the fuck I do. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that does not mean, homie, that I'm gonna sit around and be in the presence of somebody that, to me, well, first and foremost, I'm prejudiced against the dude. Anyways, he used to be part of an organization that tried to kill me for 7+ years, bro.
And understandable.
understandable.
That
Understandable,
Understandable.
dog.
that I went to war with, bro. But not one can never pull up one video, bro, of me ever respecting dudes or saying they're weenies or whatever. You know what I mean? Because
No.
check this out: when warriors go to war, that's the last thing that they want to do. You understand what I'm saying? So I respect him, dudes. I respect what he did when he was in the seat that he said he was in, and it's well known. You know what I mean? That he was part of the top three. You know
So,
what I mean?
cuz, let me stop you right there. I'm sorry, cuz we all gonna talk. I don't respect none of that shit he did when he was in that seat. I don't give a fuck about that no more because you know why? I'm a dad. Just what you said. Fuck what he did in there and the men he had killed and the dope he pushed in and all that other shit, right? Because all of that shit was what he was doing what he had to do. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not out here celebrating that, right? Like you're not my fucking hero because you was in the feds knocking people off, dog. You're not my hero if you're riding around through my city with a nice car from selling drugs and I'm in a fucking hoopty. You're not none of that, right? We're past that in life, bro. That's what I'm trying. And I'm not trying to get on your ass. I mean, you know I love you, Wacc. You really are
But you
one of
can't.
my real good friends, dog. There's no
No,
question about
I
this, right?
can't. But you can't not respect that, bro.
No,
If
so I mean I respect it,
this
but
is what
I didn't finish.
Kim
I
Snow,
respect the
bro.
fact, listen, I respect the fact that he's willing to admit that he realized that life wasn't about shit. I
Okay,
respect so
okay.
he can't, but hold on, listen. His story and his words saying that life ain't about shit would hold zero fucking weight had he not done all that shit he done in the past. So I respect it. I'm not taking nothing from that man. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking no stripes from him. And I truly believe that he's probably if these guys do it right and these men put some brain power into it, there's more young white kids across America, brother, that's gonna listen to John Greshner, this old Aryan dude, than they are Tim Snow and Wacc Duce, lifelong white Crips. That's just the real fucking truth, right? Like the
That is.
heartland of America is gonna
Uh,
want to hear from him
I
before they
kind
hear
of
from
just I disagree. I think a real one and just speaking, they're going to get the respect of the youngsters, right? It's got to come from a real one though. That's what I
This is
mean.
the thing.
And
My only thing with the whole, I'll just leave it at that because you know what I mean. I don't want to come on y'all little gig and fuck it up with my
now you
bull.
good.
no,
Always
you're
will.
good, man. You're good.
What I'm saying is the reason why I don't like it when I see like I y'all been waiting for a boy to make a fucking channel, right? Like I'm not gonna lie, I've been like, oh, when that dude boxer Enriquez, like
Yep.
everybody knows, like that dude,
Oh,
like you
that
know,
dude fuck it up for everyone though.
right? But so what I'm saying is, bro, is like even though we don't live that life no more, even though you ain't gang banging and hitting motherfuckers and doing all that, bro. It kind of like when that name comes out, homie. It kind of gives you, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
It does. It
You know
does. And I
what
totally agree. Man, listen, Sandman, did I
Yeah.
not tell you? Hold on, listen, Whack. Sandman, did I not tell you everything he just said behind the scenes, my damn self?
No, you did, and but it takes someone like me, right? I don't have a dog in the race because I've never been there. But if I was there, I act accordingly, right? But I'm bringing him on to tell his story, like Tim said, man, to help dissuade people from wanting to go there. That's the only mission I have. I'm not.
Man, listen to this. So this is what I was gonna say. So listen, just as many kids across America that wanted to be Bloods and Crips and emulated the Los Angeles style and all that other shit,
Mhm,
man, they don't get a lot of media attention. There's just as many wannabe
true.
Aryan Brotherhood kids out here and skinhead little local gangs and all that type of shit that they need to hear that from him. They're not gonna
And
listen to us. You know what I mean?
and
But no, I understand what he's saying. And listen, I love Whack, man,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
totally get it. He ain't changing for nobody. I understand. But what I'm saying,
yeah.
Whack ain't been on YouTube on this exact same mission I've been on the whole
Right,
time, right?
right,
He's been
right.
on here holding it down and representing for a white crip. Like this motherfucker here has been holding it down, letting people know that fuck what y'all are talking about. Look what he said, green light, all that. He's doing a I love what Wack does too. Don't get me wrong. That's why he's always
Yeah.
been part of my channel. I always support him. I love him. You know what I'm saying? But
Same here.
what I
Why
do here is different, dog. And I've told him that before. Hey, Wack, long time ago, y'all was talking about a sports podcast, and I'm like, nah, I stick to strictly fucking prison. You know what I'm saying? Because
I
it's part
remember.
of this mission. And would I keep doing this channel if it was totally demonetized? I've let this goddamn channel demonetize and stay demonetized for long periods of time because I didn't give a
I
fuck
know.
about that. You know what I mean? And y'all know
Hmm.
I have. Both of y'all know personally I've done
Yep.
it, and that was something that this I mean, I don't know. It wasn't. I don't have to prove anything to anybody, right? But I literally let my shit stay like that because I'm on this mission. So I understand. So listen. Whack. I wanted to ask y'all though, man. What y'all think about that Donald Trump getting shot, man?
Oh yeah, hold on. I'm gonna tell you. Let me just say this. And you know, hey, the real reason I got my channel is because I used to get so fucking tired, homie, of seeing motherfuckers commenting like, yeah, every white cripple came across, he got stabbed and ran off the
Yeah,
yard,
it's not true.
happened, and ain't none of
Not true.
ain't none of them made it, and this and that. And I'm like, bro, I can call 10 in my phone right now that walked 180. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not saying, bro, that nothing ever happened because, bro, I got stab wounds. My shit got my motherfucking the orbital bone in my eye got fractured with a can of chili beans. You know what I mean? And whatever else was in that motherfucking sock. You know what I mean? But I hate to say it, bro, but me and Snow Rock embarrassed the fuck out of them dudes, bro.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's true. That it like
Like,
Rock used to take him back 1-on-one, and they used to back down.
yeah,
Yeah, no, those have been actually
and they're
corroborated by white dudes,
I
white
don't
men.
try to
Yeah,
toot my own horn, but nigga, legend has it and has to be the motherfucker. Hey, the captain at motherfucking ICC told me. He said, man, he said, from what I heard, man, if you weren't in jail, you might be the king of cage fighting or something. I said, man, I'm just,
Hey, Whack. Hold on.
go.
Listen.
I mean,
You're a big ass dude
Oh,
too, man. Big boy though. You know what I'm saying? You a big strong ass motherfucker, man. Like it.
but listen, man, I'm for peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I respect the whites, I respect the blacks, the Southsiders, the Northerners, and all that. I just, you know what I mean? My thing is like, hey, it's like with the police. I used to hate the police, bro. I used to hate them with a passion. Like,
that's the main enemy.
you know what I mean? But now it's
I
like,
think so.
you guys stay over there, and I'll stay over here. I don't need you. I ain't did nothing for you to come over here and fuck with me. Hey, I'm a citizen. I'm a taxpaying citizen. Just leave me alone. Let me go on about my day. And that's how I feel. So I feel indifferent about them. The rats and the dropouts and the dudes that have channels and all that. I mean, I kind of like, to me, it's comedy, bro. It's like if you've ever been in California in ad seg, anybody in the comments will tell you that I'm right. You know what them dudes do all day, bro, in ad seg, bro? Is when the mainliners do their shutdown at night, the motherfucking dropouts, they'll all start kicking the doors, hitting the
Yep.
shelves. The toilet or the table or their bunks, trying to drown out the sound of the mainliners of the GPs doing their shutdown. You know what I mean? Or they'll be on the door. They'll cut fishing lines. They'll steal your shit off the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just do weird ass shit, bro. Because you know why, bro? Because they don't get that attention no more. Nobody pays attention to them dudes, bro. When you
So,
walk
cuz,
past,
let me ask you something. Listen, that's a good
Hold on,
point.
hold on, Tim. Hold on, Tim. I want hey, Whack. This is why I want to bring you on, bro. I'm not a dropout, so you're talking to me on my channel, right?
right?
So you and I can have a conversation about this. So that's all I wanted to say to Whack.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, so now they have a platform, bro, that everybody watches, and it's
Yeah.
Is that what it
See.
is?
Yeah.
Like, hold
But
on. That's what I was asking earlier, and you just kind of explained it when you said they're back there cutting up looking for attention. So are the guys like that are coming on these shit and they don't have a mission? They're not here to help kids. They're not here to do shit, trying to make a couple bucks or whatever. They're dropouts and all that. Are they coming back on here to like be cool
there's
again?
only
Like
two I
redeem
know.
themselves in life, dog? Like this is how people are gonna like me again because I'm a YouTuber. Like what the fuck is going on? It's weird to me, man.
no, I think it's all. I think you hit all nails on the head. I think it's, for one, it's ego, right? Oh, I can get it to where these people don't know that I dropped out and told on all the homies on C Yard. Fuck it, you know what I mean? Let me get on here. And so that's to feed their ego, right? And then number two, oh shit, if I can put a couple bucks in my pocket, I ain't got to get my lazy ass up and go to work. Fuck it, I'll get on YouTube. You know what I mean? And then you know what I'm saying? And then also they can fucking spew that motherfucking uh vomit shit that they spew out of their mouth, all that fucking 50-50 yards and fuck the big homies in the back and this and that. You know what, bro?
Uh,
This
yeah, I
is
wouldn't say
bro.
that.
I never got into I never got into that, bro. People ask about the homies and the big homies in the back, bro. I never disrespect them, but this is my answer has always been this, bro. Hey, I wasn't a part of that shit. I don't know nothing about it. I don't speak on nothing I don't know about. Do you know, homie, that I did 7 years, bro? And you know how many times I heard the term Mexican Mafia? Probably none. You know how many times I heard Nuestra Familia? None. You know how many times I heard Black Gorilla Family? Probably two. You know how many times I heard AB? Probably a lot, because them niggas was on my forehead. But anyways, you know, I'm just showing you that them words are bad. Those are bad words, bro. You don't walk the track and like, oh yeah, that dude right there's a MA, or that dude right there's
Mm.
N, or that
So
dude.
you know what? Let me tell you why we talk about behind the scenes. Yes, I did call Wacc one time and was like, "Say, man, like I know you don't like talking about people, other folks, but can I ask you a question?" He was like, "Man, I don't even know the answer. We never once talked about them goddamn people in the cell. Like we never even we act like they didn't exist." So but listen, that comes down to what I was saying one time when Milk did that video about them 50-50 yards and shit like that, right? Because I didn't even
Right.
know what that meant. And when I was leaving the feds, they sent me to FDC Houston. That ended up being like a 50-50 yard. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I just knew something was wrong when I got there, right?
Right.
But at that point, I never spoke to no fucking weirdo. Never one time, dog. Never sat
Right.
by him, never talked to him, never smoked with him, never ate with him, never stood by him in line, never fucked with him even one time. You know what I mean? So it is possible a bunch of men be locked up in the same building with each other and don't know a goddamn thing about nothing that's
So
happening with each other.
hold on. Let me ask back a question, man. You could be in the Cork and Chew, right? And your neighbor could be a PC, correct?
Say it again one more time.
You could be in the Cork and Chew, right? And your neighbor could be a PC, correct?
Yeah, I've never been to Corcoran Shoe, but yeah, I would imagine.
Or add seg, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
I talked to
all the
people.
time. Yeah, and so
Yeah,
so you won't know. I mean, it's not on their door. It doesn't say
no,
potential your sensitive needs, but you know. I mean, it's not a secret. It's not like I'm sharing something that the
no.
public don't know or nothing. But you do it by subtraction, bro. So you know, okay, so you get to a building, and I learned this from the Northerners, homie. I'm not gonna lie, like the Northerners taught me a lot of shit, homie. You know what I mean? And uh, I got love for the Northerners. That's why I be like CXIV all day, because that's some old Crip Northang.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I will always have love for the Northerners, bro. You know what I mean? They taught me a lot, homie, and they're really militant, bro. And they have to be because of the numbers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, you know what I mean, like, and you know what? I'm not even gonna sit up here and try to pump them up and make them it seem like kids want to go out and do that, because I know Tim ain't on that, and I would never tell no kid to go do that anyway. But, anyways, the first thing you do when you get to a building is, so as said, right? So you're at the door, you're looking around, you're looking at the door tags, like, okay, whites over there, blacks over there, okay, northern Mexicans, others, right? Okay, well then that night at count, now you're gonna hear how many names are called out, right? And you'll see them at their door when they yell out the door when their name is called. If they're not on that list, then they're no good.
Whack.
So
When did you get out, man? I don't mean to cut you off, man. I apologize.
yeah, so
When
that's how.
when did you when did you I gotta ask you a question though, because like in 2010 they stopped doing all that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, because they could use it for validation.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So like I don't know when did you get out though? I really don't know. That's a question for
I
me.
left.
If you don't.
So I paroled from Hot Desert May 6th,
Oh
04.
shit.
I paroled from
Hey,
uh C uh C Upper May of '04. Then I caught a violation in September of '05, and I caught 10 months, and I got out the last time July of '06.
so those who don't know, this man walked High Desert Yard. That's called the White House.
Yeah.
So for now you guys know, man. That was a stronghold for, they call it the White House for a reason, for the guards, for other things too. But
Well,
that man walked.
what I tell you, look, about when I got off the motherfucking bus. First of all, you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
Susanville.
nowhere,
Yep.
right? And you walk into motherfucking R&R, and there's a pair of boots on a shelf, like a shelf. There's a pair of old dusty ass boots, cowboy boots, and then there's a sign that says "Welcome to High Drama," right?
Yep.
And then they start separating you by race into holding cells to wait until you get, housed or whatever. So as I'm walking, this bitch has got me, and she starts walking me over there towards the fucking whites. I'm not gonna say nothing, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like whatever. I guess we're gonna get it cracking from right here then. Fuck it. So I'm walking over there, and the sergeant's like, "Hey, no, hey, no." He goes over there with the blacks, and she kind of like looked at me, and I just looked at her like, "You dumb bitch, you know what the fuck that motherfucker just said?" And so they put me over there with the homies. But 20 minutes later, I fucking look up. They're calling my name. I look up, and I see the motherfucking black patches, the motherfucking goon squad. They're like, "Up, turn around, cup up." Whoop, took me. I'm like, "Oh, I know these motherfuckers are not trying to send me to the hole. Like that's some bullshit." I just did like October to June in the hole, so however long that is. Because I left when I left Lancaster. I did October to June, and I had left AdSeg in Lancaster to go to High Desert. So I'm like, I know these motherfuckers are not trying to put me back in the hole. Well, so they take me to the little sergeant's office right there, and so I look up, and you got the captain of IGI, you got two sergeants, a lieutenant, and you have the the associate warden on speakerphone. Keep in mind, this was at nighttime, bro. I don't remember what day of the week it was, but it was at nighttime, and they're basically like, "Man, hey." I remember the IGI the captain said, "Do you know what's out here on these yards right here?" And I said, "No, am I supposed to?" And he said, "Don't be smart with me." He said, and he had my C file right there, and he was like, "It looks like you got a parole date coming up in not too long out." And he said, "I'm gonna tell you what, I got brands running around on this yard. I got woo whoop running around on this yard." And he said, "There hasn't been a white crip or a white blood that's ever made it here longer than 30 days." And I said, "Well, you're telling me that for what? You know what I mean? Like, what?" And he said, "Okay, so you gangster." He said, "Well, the associate warden on the speakerphone was like, man, I think we just need to go ahead and send him to the box." And I'm like, "Man, I'm not going to the hole, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys send me up here knowing, you know what I'm saying? Like, knowing I'm from San Diego, you send me way from Lancaster all the way up here to fucking Northern California in the middle of fucking Timbuktu, some motherfucking where. You know what I mean? Knowing that I'm finna parole in like 2 years, you know what I mean? So it's like, whatever. And so I'm like, nah, man, you know what I mean? And the sergeant, I'll never forget, uh, Sergeant Hoover, never forget that dude. No, not Hoover, Nelson. Uh, Sergeant Nelson looked like a straight skinhead, bald head, had the handlebar mustache, you know what I mean, tattooed up. He was like, "Fuck it, bring him to Sea Yard." And he was like,
Oh.
you're gonna have to sign a chrono. I was like, "Man, I'll sign anything you want." I said, "Man, what y'all running here? A daycare or a prison?" And he kind of like laughed. He was like, "Oh, we got a tough one." And I was like, "I'm not trying to be tough, man. I'm tired. I just sat on a bus for fucking 2 days. You know what I mean? In a paper fucking jumpsuit. The shit stuck. My nuts are stuck to my fucking thigh. I'm trying to get a fucking
Hungry as hell.
you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to get to a fucking cell so I can bird bath and get something to eat, man. You know what I mean? And get some sleep. So yeah, so they ended up setting me up with my homeboy that came up there where he had got out to Tehachapi too, and we had picked him up in Tehachapi, and so me and him became Sally's and then whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, like that was the word. That was the no lie. If anybody says it's not true, then they're full of shit. Right hand to God. the day I stepped a foot on that yard out there, um, I was scared. Like I was like, okay, so
Appreciate the honesty, bro.
so y'all really gonna do me like this when I'm close to the house, huh? Y'all really? So I honestly like I don't even want to like say it, but I'm just gonna say it. I really because of the case that they had against us in Lancaster. If any of you guys want to look it up, Google August of our Google August. I want to say 19th of 2002 in Lancaster on D Yard. There was a staff assault by the Crips. Two of the homies from A-Trade Gangster. I won't say their name because at that time they had life, and I don't know what's happened to them since then. So I don't want to, you know what I mean. I don't know where they're at, so I'm not going to say their names. But they took off on the police. We went on lockdown, um, and eventually they rolled up every Crip car on that yard and hit all of us with conspiracy to murder staff. They,
Oh
they
damn.
they tried to
Wow.
do a big ass. But of course, the DA didn't pick up most of them because they knew it was bullshit and they just wanted us to get us out of there. And guess where they shot most of us too? High
High
desert.
desert. Fuck.
So I know of like 10 dudes that went up there over a span of like 3 or 4 months with me. But anyways, yeah, when I stepped on that yard, man, I just knew like I knew I was somewhere where it wasn't cool to be. You know what I mean? It was like, you know that moment where you're like, you know that moment like when you were a kid and you fucked up and like you're looking at the clock counting down the minutes before your mom or dad gets home, knowing
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hmm.
you know what I mean? That was just that thing, so I was like, every day I was just preparing myself, like, man, fuck it, it's coming. You know what I mean? Like I know they're coming. You know what I mean? I know they're coming. Like, you know what I mean? And it was like, it wears on you to the point of like, and then you go through that for a while, and then your mind state starts to change. Well, like, you know what, fuck it, hurry the fuck up and let's get it over with. You feel me? Like, but yeah, you know what I mean. Um, yeah, that was high desert, man. I seen a dude. I seen a dude. I ain't gonna say what faction. One of the Hispanic factions. Uh, they threw him a spread on his birthday. And as soon as the cop that was doing close beat count got got into the next section, we were in. I think I was either in B section or C section. But anyways, when he got through to the other side, to the other section, uh, two of them dudes, one of the dudes had, they had their arm around him, his neck, like hugging him. Next thing you know, they just fucking
That's what
went
they
to
do.
war on him. I'm standing there on the phone about 15 feet away, if that. And I'm like, I tell my people, like, hey, I got to go. I hang up the phone, and me and the homie are right there. And then, so we're thinking about, like, fuck, cuz, let's get upstairs. Because a couple of the homies went up the stairs. And the, the, uh, the, uh, the tower cop sees what's going on. He hits the button. Now you got to see a couple CEOs that are working in the building try to run up in there. But I'm watching this dude literally as he's fighting to breathe. I'm seeing bubbles coming out of the holes in his chest. You know what I mean? Hey, bro,
Hmm.
like, hey, I tell you this, man. I didn't sleep for like a week, bro.
I
Damn.
can't blame you.
You know what I mean? And so, gang banging, all that shit is fake as fuck, man, because um, I don't think that I could ever kill one of my own people like that, man. I mean, I don't know the situation of why it happened. I heard, but I don't know. I'm not going to speak on it. But you know what
It
I mean?
don't matter.
Yeah, like I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I can't do it, man. So
It's
I went
treacherous.
through all that, man. Look, I went through all that, and the day I paroled, May of '04, My cousin and my auntie and my sister came and picked me up. 13-hour drive, I think it was. And
Wow.
I
Yeah.
I went upstairs and I seen my dad, and I cried like a baby in that man's arms when I seen him.
Understandably.
And it was, you know, it was, it, because I knew it was over. You know what I mean? Like I made it. Like I'm getting that feeling now, man. But like, yeah, that.
Okay, so I got two things to say about that. That what you're saying right there, and I understand and I love you, right? You're so we spend so many years living as Crips, as Bloods, as this, as that, these Mexicans and their gangs and shit, that it just 100% becomes an identity to us, right? And it's something that's extremely hard for us to ever let go, dog, because it's tattooed all over me, you know what I'm saying? And something I did for over 25 years straight. And but I know as a father and an older man and everything that it only leads to a couple things. You know what I'm saying? It only leads to prison. It only leads to death. And I can say 100%, 1,000. And shout out to Snow Rock. I see you in the chat, big homie. I can say with 1,000% sure, I'm not raising a baby Crip because I'm not raising my little daughter. Not no Crip. You know what I'm saying? My little daughter is Karate Kid. She's baby Miss Texas. If I catch somebody trying to put her down and make her something, guess what? I'm liable to hurt their whole set. You know what I mean? I now know how my daddy looked at me when he seen me starting this shit when I was young and I didn't give a fuck, right? And it's possible my daughter won't give a fuck what I say either, you know, but yeah, it's so part of our life. But we reach an age when we become men where we know, hey man, we gotta kind of get away from this shit, right? But it comes back to exactly what I was saying about that AB cat because your word and your story holds no power and no weight, and you have no ability to change the youth and teach them and lead them in a direction if you never did all that in your past, right? If Whack wasn't never that Crip, it looks Snow rocking them, they walking level fours doing shit people said is totally 100% impossible.
Hmm.
Now you're the man that these kids will listen to. You are the big homie that they will respect and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? You have put that in, and it should not never be wasted. And that's what all I said about that AB cat, right? Like you have the potential to make lives change, dog. Like make a difference. And the story I'm listening to, Sandman, listen, well, since we're gonna talk YouTube too, the story that he just told me could have been a million view video on his channel if he'd have just did it like he's supposed to. And I've been telling him that for 5 years, you know.
But
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 Whack is
that's
the
my
kid that don't
thing.
even like talking about this shit hardly no more.
Bro, I told you I don't, but see, because I don't give a fuck about, like, Snow Rock can tell you, man, salute to Big Bro, man, you know what I mean? Like, I've been pushing Snow Rock's name since I got on this motherfucker, and I will always pay homage to Snow Rock, bro, because he is the original homie, you know what I mean? And like, and that'll never stop, bro, you know what I mean? And like he's doing it, so he's getting views now. He's got he's getting followers and shit as he should, bro. But it's never been my thing to to do that, dog. And I know, hey, bro. Hey, I used to call myself the motherfucking designator of YouTube because if you needed a motherfucking collab with somebody on YouTube and needed some views, all you had to do was get Whack Duce to come on there, and the shit would shoot up, bro. You know what I mean? And I never asked a motherfucker for nothing, bro. You know what I mean? Like, cause I don't care. Like, YouTube is not my thing, bro. I don't get rocks off a motherfucker knowing my name and shit like that. It kind of actually scares me. I think if I was out in public in San Diego and a motherfucker knew my name or something, and they was white or something like that, I'd probably be scared thinking it was the police trying to set me up or something. I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? But
I
I,
mean,
I get it. I get it.
you
yeah.
know, like it's never been my thing, bro. But yeah, no, hey, Tim, I know what you've been on the same shit from the day I met you, bro, until now, and that's what you're going to continue to be on, and that's why motherfuckers respect you, bro. I remember even look, bro, the times I came on your channel to do an interview with you, bro. Hey, I'd get into a good ass story, and you'll be like, yeah, hold on, but we got, this channel's, yeah, like, hey, 'cause, you're not trying to glorify, make this shit sound too fun. So these youngsters like, oh well, if he did it, I can go do it. Like, nah, that's the whole thing. Is we don't want you motherfuckers to go do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. I
No.
mean, you're only getting you're only hearing the good side of shit. You know what I mean? Like they ain't telling you that prison is the most boringest shit I've ever been a part of, bro. Like literally sitting there days in and days out, homie, looking at the same goddamn walls, smelling the same people, eating the same nasty ass goddamn food, bro.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You know what? I like to eat too much. Too. I like tacos and hamburger, good food. You know what I'm saying? That prison kills me with that diet, man. That's the worst. One of the worst parts to me is how you got to eat in there.
Well, I think that's how. Hey, as much weight as I done gained out here, I might need to go back to that and fucking. Man.
I
Hey,
mean,
I got a question for you. For both, well, Sam might know, but I know you knew. So listen, in Texas prisons, but they call them farms for a reason, right? Because they have hog farms, cattle farms, vegetable farms. You know, they're real farms. So a lot of the cattle they raise them and they sell them for monetary reasons, right? Help profit the prison profit, but the pork is cheap. They grow fast. They're easy to raise. So a lot of the inmates' diets are pork in Texas. Like you'll have pork patty, pork noodle, pork sausage, pork roll, pork loaf, pork loin, pork everything. You know what I mean? It's
even the Muslims and
so
the
no. That's what
kosher.
I. Here goes my next question. This was my question, right? So if you're Muslim in Texas, when they're serving pork, you go up there and say pork free tray, right? And all they give you. So look at this, man. So the trays, you know, they got 4 pockets in them, right? 2 of them like the size of the main tray and 2 sides or whatever. All they're gonna do
Try
is
to
give
smell
you
right.
a double scoop of beans and 2 slices of cheese, and that's what the men got to eat. What they doing? The Muslims out there in
That's
California,
messed
do they
up.
do they actually feed them, or are they
Oh,
living
they
off food?
cater to them. They'll cater to them and the kosher. Yeah.
Oh man, no, in Texas, man. Listen, it's so bad where they literally have these
I mean,
Muslim
I didn't let Whack answer that,
living
man. My
off
bad.
peas and beans.
What's
What do they
that?
what do they feed them in the chow hall whack if y'all have pork on the menu? What the Muslims gonna
Uh,
get?
to me, if I remember correctly, they used to give them the mystery meat.
See, you know,
Oh man,
probably soy
Hey,
products or something.
that
on everything, that's what it is. I think them damn soy burgers. But look, I used to look, bro. When I first and look, Snow Rock can take it back even further. Um, but like the way Chow changed from '97 to '04 was crazy. Because when I came in '97, homie, uh, the SOS plates were, I mean, you would get, I mean, it was crazy. Big ass pieces of meat with the gravy, big ass scoops of the potato. Then you get milk, oatmeal. I think like an orange or an apple or something. And then you grab your sack lunch and then come back for dinner. And dinner would be like tacos and then beans, salad, like corn.
Yeah, man. It's you know what they did a thing. I'm glad I'm not old enough. They're always leaving in my comments, right? This is my big brother. They went through this shit, but they went through a thing in Texas called VitaPro, where VitaPro was it really was a mystery meat. Like nobody knew what it was. It was making people sick, man. Like every time they ate it, they was getting diarrhea, stomach aches, and all this shit. And that was the only thing they were feeding them. They were trying to save money or something. I don't know what
And no,
that shit was.
I was gonna say about the mystery meat. It usually was served like on Sundays. They would call it roast beef, so they would serve it with like mashed potatoes, gravy, salad,
Damn.
vegetable. But hey, Tim, on my mama, bruh, like you put that motherfucker like if you're sitting in the cell, like on your bunk, and you just hold your tray out and let the light come down on it. That motherfucker be all kinds of different colors, bro. The whole rainbow, purple, green,
Uh,
and all. Yeah, that shit was disgusting. I never ate that shit. I'm just gonna put it in my soup, dog. I'm gonna cook it. Like, man, what are you cooking? I mean, that's probably plastic or something, bro. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that shit's horrible, man. Yeah, we
Uh,
got a problem
so
here with these prisons being so old. We got some that, they're literally 100 years old, and the water that's coming out of people's faucets and the drinking water and shit is brown. It's rusty.
that's
It's
like Tracy. Tracy used to be like that. Snow
mm,
Rock was saying, man, they get hooked up. Man, he was working Ramadan. The Muslims got hooked up. But yeah, Tracy in Northern California, just southwest of Sacramento, their water was brown.
That's
Like
rough, dog. Listen,
Hey,
when it's
uh,
down here, it's 140 degrees inside of your building, and you're now dehydrated because you're scared to drink this water. It's a deadly situation.
that's different.
hey,
That's
didn't Tracy
different.
have a swimming pool back in the day?
Way they also didn't have a tower on the yard till like
Oh,
90.
damn.
Man, the stories I've heard, they were
Oh, I
throwing
know. Hey,
lawnmower, but
hey, that's one thing. You know what, bro? Hey, not to cut you off, Sam, man, but you know what?
it's all
Going
good.
to what Tim was saying about John is that, bro. I know you heard stories, but all the motherfuckers that you talked to and collaborated with behind the scenes, Sam, man. I know you
Yeah,
got. Even though you ain't never been there before, it's like you damn near got more knowledge than me for sure, bro. You know, I know you done heard stories like. That's why I love Big Mitch. I mean, not only you know what I mean, not just because of that, because me and him are
Uncle Mitch. Yeah,
Shout
yeah,
his channel out.
yeah, hard and
hard intentions.
I mean, me and him have built a relationship outside of YouTube, and I love him like a big brother, man. You know what I mean? And shout out to Big Mitch and his wife. But yeah, no, like the stories he tells me are back, like, you know what I mean, when he hit the main line in Quentin in '82, and Chino, Palm Hall, and Tracy, and all that shit, Old Folsom, and that shit is like prison now compared. Well, I can't really say now because you know what? There is a lot of fucking murders going on in the system now.
Right
You know what I mean?
now, yeah, absolutely.
I can't, you know what I mean? But uh, I think that, prison back then was, like prison was prison. You know what I mean? No cell phones, no, you know what I mean? Half people probably didn't
Hmm.
even have fucking TVs, you know what I mean? And then, hey, Tim, I don't know how y'all do it with no TVs in y'all cell, cuz that's
It
crazy.
sucks. Yeah, it sucks. And them cells tiny as hell.
Uh,
You can't even hang up a picture of your mama in a Texas cell. They'll tear that bitch down and throw it away.
oh,
Wow. Oh,
oh, that's what I
wow.
was my first shoot for. My first shoot to for me and the homie Psycho was Selly's, and the homie Psycho had got into it with the sergeant, and I told him too. I like cussed me to go up on us because we had he had made a batch of Pruno, and I told him, I said, "Damn, cuz you dumb nigga, that nigga finna come up in here and tear our shit up." I know he ain't, cuz fuck that nigga. Whoa, I'm like, cuz finna come tear our shit up, bro. And we went to shower and shit. And this nigga instead of and I told him, I said, look, bro, do your running around at the end, homie. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't listen though. But anyways, yeah. So this motherfucker can find the Pruno. He rips all the pictures off the walls, puts them on the bottom bunk, gets the Pruno out, cuts the Pruno open, and dumps that shit all over the pictures on the bed and shit. I mean,
Got you.
so we were forced, Tommy. We were forced to go out there and put hands on that dude, bro. I mean, disrespectful like that, but yeah. No, hey, that's one thing I've never argued, bro, and I'll never argue it as far as like Texas, as far as the conditions and the
Hmm.
obstacles that y'all face. Yeah, yeah, it's 100 times worse in Texas than Cali, bro.
It's
You know what I
crazy. Them in
It's that,
Louisiana, man,
it's that old slavery
bad.
mentality, man. It's a real life. So they, bro, let me give you a perfect example of something, right? Two examples. Where I never told Sandman this. They recently in the last few years when they started going on and the country got on the thing about taking down the Confederate statues and all that. Y'all remember when that was happening?
mean? Yeah,
Hmm.
Well, at that about that same time, they started renaming Texas prisons because the prisons were property that the state had bought from plantation owners and they were naming them after the plantation owners, right? So, like Darrington used to be the Darrington slave plantation with black people slaving on that bitch. Well, they sell it to the state and they build Darrington prison and still have black people slaving on this shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, right. So they started changing all the names and shit. But Texas still to this day has a prison named after a warden that got killed by an inmate he was trying to kill. Like this warden and his captain, I think it was, took an inmate down to the
Wow.
river. Look, they took him down to the river, put the gun in his mouth, was getting ready to kill him. He snatched the gun, fought, wrestled. He shot both cops or warden and guard or whatever. Then he ended up having to wrestle the warden for a life or death battle and drowned him in the river. They wanted this guy so bad. Listen, they put him on trial. He got found not guilty 3 different times. And they gave him 3 trials, found not guilty. And then when he got out, they set him up on a robbery in a gas station. He was asleep. Check this out. So I talked about it on a video, but I didn't say this right. Look how they set him up. He was asleep in front of a gas station in a car, right? Totally asleep, buzzed, probably definitely a DUI, DWI, or whatever. But when the cops seen that, they sent 2 men in to rob the store. When they went in and robbed the store, they arrested all 3 of them. The 2 men that actually did the robbery were released because they cooperated and told on the guy that was asleep in the car, and he got 99 years for the robbery.
Yeah. Hey, so
Yeah.
man,
Wow.
you just reminded me of something about Texas. Hey, Sam, man, sorry for coming on your channel.
Is that
Hijack.
good? No, I wanted you to come on, bro. I
No,
wanted you
hey,
to come on. It's all
hey,
good.
bro, I can't even talk to you about what we've been supposed to do, bro, because we would have been took off on the sports shit
Oh,
already,
I know.
man.
It's all good.
Yeah, but no, hey, Tim. So look, you know them dudes that broke out the what was it, the Texas Seven or whatever they were called?
Yeah.
Okay, so the one dude was saying on an interview before he died that he had got like over 1,000 years for like 5 robberies.
1 robbery.
So you ain't so if you go up into a liquor store, you know what I mean, as a youngster, say a little 17-year-old little street punk, you go stick the blammer in his face, homie, and take what's in the register. That's it. You get life, just like you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a hell yeah, it's 5 to 99 on that case. What they did to him,
Oh, wow.
he went inside. Listen, he went in and robbed a grocery store, right? And
Right.
when he went in to rob the grocery store, he rounded everybody up and said, "All you motherfuckers get over here," and took all their bread too, right? So he robbed like 20 people in one place at one time. That's how the law looked at it. Like, oh well, you get 1 for the grocery store, you get 1 for the clerk, 1 for each customer. You know what I mean? And they just stacked them up on them. But yeah, in all reality, so Texas forever and a day, we didn't have life without parole. We had 99 years. That was it.
Right.
And life meant parole after possibility after 40 years, right? So the maximum they were maxing people out with was 99 years for murder, could be multiple robberies, shit like that. Man, they don't play down here with a lot of shit, dog. I've seen within the last 12 months
It's
at
crazy.
least 4 or 5 guys getting life sentences for DWIs. Like, and we're talking
Hey,
about
but
If
real
you get
quick, how many DWIs did they have though before that?
the ones I seen were fucking ridiculous, like 9 and 10, and you know what I'm saying? Like they probably, I mean, shit, they had to
Did they
expect.
put them in a treatment program and you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, at that point, listen, when you realize, so listen, in Texas, if we have 1st degree, 2nd degree, and 3rd degree crimes, the 1st degree
Okay.
is the worst, 5 to 99, right? If you get a 3rd degree crime 3 times, it'll boost it up to a 2nd degree. You get it 1 more time, it boosts it up to a 1st degree, right? If you get
Texas don't play.
right, if you get 3 of the same 1st degrees, now you're looking at 25 to life. That's where it starts at. What I'm saying is these people that were facing these life sentences and shit clearly knew what they were facing at the time. They just got drunk. They keep doing the shit.
That's
I'm
why
not
I was
making fun of
asking.
elbow, but y'all probably should have got you at least a good 10 years or something, you know.
Yeah, I mean, treatment center. If they didn't respond to that, if it just kept going, 9 or 10 DWIs. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't mean to offend
Oh,
anyone
look.
with that, but just come on, man.
so
Imagine falling onto a maximum security prison, man. Whack, you sit down on the bench first day in the day room. They like, what you in here for, cuz? DWI. Like, you don't even know what to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, man, that ain't even real gangster, right?
hey, but look, so if I went, so okay, say I get 10 years, right? So when is my minimum eligible parole date?
On So they have so many. It's 25 is the minimum. 25 years, I guess. No, hold on.
No,
So if they get sentenced 25, they'll probably come up for parole after about 7 years, something like that. You know what I mean? 5 years, something. But that don't mean they're gonna get it. They're not guaranteed to get it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's all I'm saying is listen. you know these
Shy
people
tail
gonna
like
punish
that. What
you
up, bro?
harshly.
My bad.
You know they're gonna punish you harshly. You've been warned. You've already, if you just got that life, you clearly probably already did 5 years one time for DWI. You're still doing it. You know, it's just,
You're
I don't
dumb.
know. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
the easiest one to get around, man. They got Uber, Lyft, and all that stuff nowadays.
I don't
Mhm.
understand it.
Too
Like,
cheap.
hey, and when I used to be out there like fucking with the homies and give, and I've never really been a drinker. I mean, to be honest, you know what I mean? Like,
Me neither.
I'm one of I got the Samoan disease. When I drink, I want to fight, bro. You know what I mean? So, I,
Right.
I like, you know what
Stay
I mean?
away from that tequila
But
then.
yeah, so,
To
but
kill
like,
you, right?
I remember one night, man, I was saucy, man. I was so fucked up. Me and the homie, I don't even know. I just like I have like just bits and pieces of that night in my head. But anyways, we get back to the homie's house, and he probably lived like maybe like 2 miles away from where I was. But I knew like I had to go home that night because my wife at the time would fucking I'd have to fight for the next 2 weeks. So it was like, yeah. I tell the homie like come drop me off. But by the time we get up there to where we live, I'm looking at this motherfucker, he already like half passed out. I'm like, oh my god, bro. So I drop him off, get him out the
Don't you
car.
love that?
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck, man. So I'm sitting there and I'm literally debating in my head, like, okay, should I bend the corner? If I go left right here, I'm gonna have to go down two of the main streets. I'm not really trying to do that. Fuck it, if I make a right here, I can go the back way. And it's always on them back ways and when your ass get caught up. And sure enough, man, I made like one right and the whole street was blocked off by police, bro. And I'm like, what? And I'm on
Uh,
parole at the time and everything, bro. And the police were like literally they were on a call, so there was like most of the cops weren't at their cars, but there was a couple of them standing there. So now I'm sitting there, bro, and I'm debating like, should I back up, turn around, and then go the other way, or like, damn, but am I gonna be suspicious? Like, fuck. So I just sit there, and finally, the cop shines his light, and he walks up to the window, and I'm like, fuck, man, here we go. And he was just like, oh, I'm sorry,
In that
let me move.
situation.
He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Let me move the car for you." And I'm like, "All right, thanks, man." Man, bro.
oh,
After that night, bro, I was like, "Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm
Let me
not."
ask you a question, Whack.
Mm.
Was like it's not anything to do with race, like being racist, but was your homie black?
That night, nah, he was Mexican.
Do you okay? Even Mexican. Do you think if he was driving the car, he would have got the same reaction?
Mm.
so I think so. Cause listen,
It's a
you know,
white
you
blur,
got
right?
I feel
White
like
people.
blur.
because they were on a call, and obviously it was a priority call because of how many that was out there, and then there was like two of them that I don't remember what they were doing. I think one
Okay.
was in the trunk of their car getting something out, and the other dude was just standing there waiting on him. So I don't know. I don't know if they didn't have time to fuck with me or
Okay.
whatever. But the car I was in had rims on it and everything, bro. So and I was
But
I was
yeah, but
dressed.
I'll tell you. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. My bad.
But I mean, you could tell that I wasn't just some regular white dude. You know what I mean? So I
That's
think if
what I
there
was
was,
getting ready to say, man.
Okay.
Listen, Wack used to be, Wack would be blue from head to
oh
toe
yeah,
with blades and all
hey, he
kind of
doesn't
shit.
Okay.
see,
You know, Wack
hey,
was on.
he doesn't see throwback flicks of me, man. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I was banged
Yes,
the fuck out, man, for real.
yeah, you'll know that
So
from far away.
I've been through checkpoints and sweating bullets, right? But they just looked at me and said, "Hey, man, you're in a blue Mustang, and it was a nice ass fucking Mustang, and white. Go ahead." I don't believe in white privilege, but there's certain things that cops look for, and they are
Yeah.
prejudiced.
So listen, if
For sure.
I don't support any crime or give out any advice for that, but one would
I'm not
kind of
giving out
think.
advice. Don't
I
drink
know,
and
but this is what
drive.
I'm saying. I'm damn near about to. I'm talking about me, right? And one would think that if you're really truly doing shit like going through checkpoints and things like that, hopefully, like hell, you would highly try to fix your appearance in a way that it would, you know what I'm
I
saying?
look like this, dude. This is how
Carlton off
I would.
Carlton off Fresh Prince of Bel Air type shit. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
shit!
Come through
Some
like
rock.
Carlton. Don't come through like Gangsta Crib and shit. I don't know. So yeah, This is what it is. Hey, Snow Rock, I see him, man. The homies in the chat. That's what's up.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, man. I gotta go, man. My daughter's fixing to be
All right,
back.
brother.
She got her nails done and shit. Whack, it's love, homie. I appreciate y'all stopping by, man. Straight up.
Wacc, we need to do a video, bro.
Oh yeah,
Yes, sir.
tap in with you, Sam. My new, hey, tell Mama holler at you, cuz love you,
Hey,
bro.
so look, yeah, both of these guys got YouTube channels though, right there. That's Wacc Duce. Is the shit is Wacc Duce Against the Grain. WACCDUCE. Wacc Duce Against the Grain, and that's Sandman from Growing Revelations. He's got the channel that we was actually talking about that Wacc was very passionate
I'm
about.
not
That was good shit.
All
Yeah.
right,
but
I fuck with
all
y'all
right,
later, man. Much love. Text Prison Story family salute, y'all.
I'm out.